Yo, 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 what's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name is Brian. Uh, if you clicked on this video, you're probably in the same boat as me and you're looking to make some side money. Everybody's trying to make some side money these days, myself included, trying to pad that old account and looking to start some new challenges. And I'm trying to think of different ways to kind of earn that money. I think everybody talks about the same stuff every time, start looking at stocks, invest in blue chips, start checking out, make a Etsy account or Airbnb, do rental arbitrage, Turo, laundry machines, or everybody says the same deal every time. And I think all those things seem interesting, but it also seems like what everybody's doing. And in my eyes, it seems like a very saturated market right now. So I'm trying to do and look into like alternative ways to get into the game, make some side cash beyond the 9 to 5, make my money work for me, and make that like 5 to 9 as a moment that I can capitalize without doing a lot of work. And obviously, that's easier said than done, right? So, I'm gonna bring you along on the journey with me. Everyone's vlogging these days. Why shouldn't I? And after all, maybe this channel probably takes off, right? I think everybody's gonna be into making that side cash, and YouTube starts paying me. That being said, don't mind these eyes wandering. I'm trying to make this legit. I took some notes so I don't miss any talking points. But let's dive in, huh? I'm looking to do some consistent supplemental passive income, like I mentioned. The old Airbnb, Turo, laundry machines, pool tables, the classics that everybody's doing right now. However, my criteria is a little bit different these days. I'm not trying to overinvest or overextend myself in a way that's not effective to me, risky to me. I'm not a guy that likes to take too aggressive of risk. So my criteria is got to be a low startup cost. It's got to be cost in two ways, right? I mean, startup cost by dollars and time. Time is money. Money for me is time. Like it's the ubiquitous, they're synonymous, or all the other things. So I want to make sure that that cost is low. I want to make that initial investment back quickly. I don't want to see the benefits 5, 10 years down the line. It's got to be easy to operate, easy to own, easy to source, easy to set up. And more importantly, I do not want to be paying for myself to have another part-time job. I work enough. I'm just looking for something kind of cool, something on the side. Doesn't mean to make me rich, but just something to kind of keep me going, right? So as I started getting in there, it led me to two things: vending machines and ice machines. I didn't know of ice machines until very recently. I went to Hawaii and I saw some guys getting some ice at a local grocery store. Never seen one of those in my life. I'm from up north. We don't really have these. However, I'm moving down south and I think that's going to be a thing that's down there. I think people are looking for ice all the time. So I kind of chose to dove into this ice one a little bit more and spend my time, effort, funneling that information for ice machines. And the reason I kind of narrowed it down to those two, in case ice machines is not your thing, and maybe vending machines or something along that lines is yours, I think that these are small enough, passive enough that eventually I can work enough profit from these that eventually I could earn enough supplemental side income to turn on one of those bigger ones I mentioned, like rental arbitrage, Airbnb, Turo, etc. Again, I'm looking for a slow burn that's consistent. Another point that I think with these two machines is that it's these kind of seem like an undersaturated market. Not many people are talking about the ice game. Everybody's talking about the hot new thing that's going on, and ice machine seems to be going steady in the background. At least that's to my Northy eyes. It's not something that's super prominent yet, but it seems like it's effective and consistent. Um, so that again, I start to funnel that down anymore. I kind of went from high level what I wanted to accomplish. I kind of set my goals up there, and then I started to sift, until I got to this point where I landed on ice machines. Now, when I started to do research, I started to dig in. There seems to be three players in the ice game: Twice the Ice, Everest, and Cooler Ice. So again, researcher. I'm a millennial at heart. I'm gonna research and Yelp to review the crap out of anybody. So I started to research. I started with Twice the Ice because I think that was the one I saw in Hawaii, and I wanted to make sure, like if that's the brand that's all the way out there, clearly they have some kind of connection. And I started to dig down. I found that they were, some pros. They were eco-friendly. You could refill your own containers. Another thing that they kind of kept boasting about was like hygienic ice handling. To me, I never thought about how many people touch the ice that I get from a store, but it kind of makes sense to kind of be advertising that. So that was pretty cool. Kind of unlocked a new phobia for me. It's modern in the sense they have an app so you can do like touchless ordering. So that was pretty cool. I mean, it seems a little bit more recession proof because it's like not, I don't know. It seems a little more organic and easy for even the younger consumer to use. Um, I kept on digging with them, and I started to check some more boxes and holding up my criteria against to see if it really fit. I also found out with that the machine is actually itself it's quite big. It's like drive up ATM big. And then when I'm thinking about ease of operation, it seems like a little more difficult to source a location for that. That's kind of a tough sell for me. So it's also pretty expensive. I found in some forums and stuff that it's pretty close to round or over 100 grand. Again, for that I would just start getting myself into like an Airbnb, get a couple cars or fleet in Turo. Um, but I guess that's because of their size. Maybe they're just a giant tank, and that's why you pay to play with that. But I, that just kind of seems like a big con to me. So after that, I moved on to Cooler and Everest, the other two cats in the game. Did some preliminary conversations with their sales reps, started doing tickets online, forum, Reddit, YouTube, the whole nine. I wanted to run these guys to the ringer. After all, I'm investing I'd be investing my time and stuff into this, and I want to make sure it's going to be worth it. So Cooler, I feel like that's like the name of the game, right? Cooler's who I would have known of previous to doing this dive into the ice world. They've been in business a long time. They have a presence online, which is cool. If you don't have a presence in 2022, what are you doing? Um, on YouTube, they have a lot of testimonials. That's great. A little weird that it's not about all their products and highlighting what they're doing, but hey, can't win. I enjoy the presence. Um, Another kind of dig on them as a millennial, I'm trying to see the stuff that's being posted in the last year. Again, that makes me feel like you're relevant. People are liking and engaging your posts. You're not just a Joe Schmo brand that's kind of hopping into this. Not necessarily a red flag, but also kind of digging on them. You got to be active. I like that they have a variety of models. That's pretty dope because I don't like necessarily the one and done machine or one and done. If Nike only made one sneaker, would I really trust Nike that well? I don't know. But at the same time, that kind of leads me to my cons of this one. It's got a lot of products to choose from, which is kind of overwhelming. A big catalog has a lot. Um, and another con is the ice makers on the roof. You'll see like that it's got like a tent above the machine. Seems like kind of a flimsy protection. If that's your moneymaker, like if ice is the name of the game, ice machine, I'd imagine you'd want to protect it a little bit more. I don't know if I'd really trust my investment with the like canvas. Um, a pro con combo was that it does bag its own ice. But to me, that's another moving part. So I guess if you're willing to risk the maintenance to ease of use, it's on you. So to me, it's a pro con. But to me, it's another thing that might break. I'd have to go refill it, or it might break, as I said, or I might have to go fix. Plus, whenever you get ice, you open it right away and you dump it into a cooler. So, do you need bags all the time? Seems a little wasteful to me. Which leads me to my last comment, which is like it's unnecessary plastic out there, right? Reduce, reuse, recycle. At least twice the ice on their pros, they were talking about being environmentally friendly, eliminating waste, and protecting like the penguins. I think it was. Um, Again, I'm not trying to do worse into the world. I'm just trying to make a little money. Just food for thought. Then, lastly, with Everest, they're pretty transparent. They're full of meat on their website. Not a ton of fluffy bull crap going around. Like, it's not like a lot of like we're so awesome, but at the same time, it's kind of distilling down information. Dig that. They have videos again, just like Cooler. I enjoy that. I like that they're bringing themselves in today's media. So Cooler and Everest crushing up from that front. If they were just kind of sending info brochures like 2004, I'd be not too keen to rock with them. Everest can have a little bit cheesy videos with like some illustrations and stuff, but I do dig that there's a brand with a personality, right? I dig that there's simplicity. I think that they're gearing themselves to be more approachable and marketing themselves to their consumer, which is a plus, right? They don't only bag the ice. That's pretty cool that you can choose bulk or bagged. I dig that. because I would like the preference to not, put more plastic out there if I don't have to. Also, bulker bagged, kind of a weak term. I think it should be like cooler ready, transport ready. That's pretty dope. Um, anyway, less stuff for me to worry about, especially with like jams and water freezing and stuff like that. Everest has got some like proprietary like anti-clumping thing, roller, whatever. It helps you not have to do a ton of maintenance. Again, this helps me with my passive part of my passive money, not looking for a part-time job. Passive means less stuff going wrong. That means simplicity, right? But Everest has some cons. They haven't been in the game like Cooler. I like that Cooler's an OG. I like that Cooler's been doing this for a minute. I like that Cooler's kind of been around. Brand recognition to me is important. Um, Everest is a little big. Also, Cooler's got some slimmer versions, but I do think that Everest looks better because it doesn't have that canvas top, and it's also not as big as a drive up ATM, right? I think that's a big point. Another pro con for Everest is that it's got a remote app. So pro because I can check in on the machine from wherever. Con because I've got to learn a new app. Another thing to check in on. However, I can do that passively. So I guess it's more pro than con, but it is something else. So that brings me up to wrap this up. Honestly, of the three, twice the ice is falling flat because of size, cost, and lack of personality. Those are three big things, right? Cooler and Everest are kind of neck and neck on this one. So both machines are pretty similar. Objectively, I think Everest does look a little bit better, especially because it doesn't have the canvas top. But I think Everest starts to win right now because of its simplicity, right? Um, I think that simplicity and less maintenance for me and my values and my criteria starts to leg out Cooler, even though Cooler has got that OG status and that brand recognition. Anyway, that was 12 minutes about ice and water that I'm not sure you were ready for. That's all for now. Leave some comments, leave some suggestions. Stay tuned for more as I figure out this passive income to do and look to kind of get going on this and make some money in the future. All right. Peace.